It is 2024, and do you need to know the best tips for F1 Clash? Yes, you do. We're going to be talking car setup. We are going to be talking how to avoid race disconnects. Some big information coming in this video, so get your pen and paper, replay it on repeat, because we're going to get into some of the key points that you need to know in 2024. Yes, so welcome along to this video, and we're going to be talking all things F1 Clash and some of the things that I know and I hope you will know by the time you've watched the end of this video. We're here just to try and make you perform better every single week. We all play this game for fun, but of course we like to win. That's one thing that we like to do. As humans, we are competitive. So we've got a number of tips coming up for you. So the first one is going to be your GP events and when you should qualify. If you don't know this already, you certainly will shortly. So first of all, we have qualifying sessions on Wednesday, Thursday and Friday, and then the weekend, opening round and final round. Now, you will notice there is 3 rounds, okay? So I'm just going to get this up so I can be even clearer to you. Okay, so Q1, that is on a Wednesday. We then have, and I click the button right, Q2 and Q3 next to that. Okay, so Q1 of your GP event will be random. As soon as you enter, it picks the next 29 players along with you and it groups them together, and you could get really good people. You could get Series 12, Series 2, Series 5. You never know what you're going to get. Could be hard to qualify. It could be tough to qualify. That's one thing that is hard on a Wednesday. On a Thursday, Q2, which we are in at the moment, it is based on your flag entry. So if I go into my qualifying session now, you will see I'm at 3,307 flags. Looking at other players, an arch nemesis of mine, 3,315, 3,231, 3,253. You get my point. It is filled with players at your flag range. It's fairer, let's say. But you could still get very good players in that group. So really, Thursday could be your best chance to qualify. And then Friday will be your flag range and anybody who enters. You might say to me, on Thursday, you're in Series 4 and you got someone who's Series 12, and that will be because that is when they entered for the first time. So that will be the only sort of exception to the rule. So if you're struggling to qualify, go and qualify on a Thursday and hopefully you shall get through. Fingers crossed. Next, we're going to look at power unit and disconnections. Big topic. That's what we're all kind of probably wanting to know here. And we're going to go and look at when to conserve and when to firstly push, and then we'll get into a little trick that can stop you actually disconnecting from a race. So here we are in Spain, and you'll notice what I'll start to do, and this is key for every single one of you. You want to be pushing through these corner sections and you want to be conserving down the straight. That is where you build up your power units. You can see we hit the straight in Spain. We'll push briefly just to get the gap, because I don't want to mess this up. So coming around this time we'll start the proper way. So pushing to the straight, and we will conserve. We'll conserve with both drivers. We gain about 10-12% down the straight, and we'll move back up to medium boost. As we approach the corners, we will push again. Notice how I am absolutely pushing and changing these dials quite quickly, and you will get used to it. We hit the straight and we conserve again, and then move it back up by the time we get to the end of the corner. So we're always managing that power unit, trying to earn it up, pushing through the corners. The meta on this game is cornering. So when we come to setups, you will see why. But that is where you want to be, really pushing hard through the corners, conserving down the straights. Next, we're going to take a look at disconnections. And this is a little trick that I've been told about. TMD and Toki both been using it from my team as well. And it is simply changing it. So obviously I can't cause a disconnect here. So I'm going to have to basically show you. When you're racing and the game freezes, simply change to Wi-Fi or change to mobile data. Look, you can see here, I am constantly switching on and off at the moment, and I am not disconnecting. That is because the game is giving me a new server, let's say new internet server, every time I change from Wi-Fi to 4G, 5G. Now notice that glitch down the bottom. It's better than a disconnect. I've obviously done it that many times that it's caused the game to have a little bit of a wobble. So that is one thing you definitely want to have a look at. It might not guarantee stopping them all, but it certainly is going to be a massive benefit, and it does give you a new server. So give that a try. Next time the game freezes, slide it down, Wi-Fi or mobile, whichever one you are not using, and fingers crossed you will get straight into and carry on that race that you so drastically are currently running. Give it a go. Let me know next time when you disconnect if that does help. So next we're going to talk setups, okay? And this is my current driver lineup and the car in question. So we will get the old pen out and we will interact with you live. So you will notice down here we have more cornering than speed. That is why, and that is the meta on this game. So, and I can't even clear this now. Let's cross it off and we'll come back to it. Let's hide it. So, I've got more cornering than speed. Are you somebody who uses this type of strategy? 184 over 142. So gone are the days where speed, cornering and reliability gave you a massive advantage when picking your qualifying positions. Now it's all about your driver's qualifying stat. But this down here, 184, 142 is not the way to go. You need to be having cornering higher than your speed. If you haven't, you are going to struggle. Now, I know there is a few instances about that depending on what level you are, but you need to go and change your parts, basically level up them parts that give you more cornering, like these ones that I've got on screen now, and you can go ahead and earn some more cornering. It is the meta. We overtake through the corners, we do not overtake on the straights very rarely, so that is why it is the absolute go-to when it comes to this. Next up, we're going to just talk drivers. So obviously when the drivers are boosted, it gives you a 10%, 20% stat rise. It doesn't hire your team score, so you've got a massive bonus about using these drivers in duels and GP. Of course, you can try your best to basically use worse drivers, but you can also use rares. So this is one of my favourite strategies on this game. Now you'll notice my car is pretty similar, maybe just slightly different because I've used a different part based on just old history, but the difference is my drivers. I am in series 10, I think it is, and I am starting P1 and P2. With lower drivers, I am going to still start in the top 5, but my car is going to be incredibly good. What does that mean? Worse drivers, I will get out qualified, but I am going to have such a good car that after the race start, I'm going to catch everybody back up really, really quickly. And that rival, even though he's got better drivers, cannot compete with my speed, my cornering, and he's going to be left for dust. So definitely give that a go and see how you get on. But that is a favourite strategy of mine. Another strategy is doing this. And you'll see this a lot by people. It is using your worst driver and one of your, let's say, best drivers, and we're going to just use Zhou Guanyu in this instance. And what that will cause is Zhou Guanyu to start at the front, Logan Sargent to start at the back, your rival potentially somewhere in the middle, and you've just got to get your driver from the back, who will have a very fast car, through the field. That is all you need to do. If you find you're starting P1 and P24, swap to another driver, let's go Hulkenberg, and it will move him up the grid. Just play around because you will find the sweet spot very, very quickly. And that is another absolute great strategy and setup that you can use. And remember, you want to be using your best parts best drivers in a GP event, because that is where the prizes are handed out. So, do you want another one? Do you want another tip? Of course. Create yourself something like this. Now, this is something that is available in my team, and pretty much my team only, and it's something that myself and my graphic designer James, I'm sure he'll be loved to be known as, has created for every single track. Now, this includes the strategies for the track, it includes some notes, and it includes where to push, go to medium, conserve, and what boosts to use as well. Very good idea. Now, if you haven't got the patience, fair play, but what it is when you're racing on F1 Clash, learn where to push. See that big straight? I told you, you don't overtake on the straight. What's the point of pushing? All the places that you can see on that track map are corners, and we're pushing through every single one of them. So build yourself a little map, build yourself a reminder. What strategies do you do at this track? Where should you push? Just get it in your head. Yes, we play this game for fun, but there's people out there who want to get the edge, and if you want to get better, you've simply got to learn stuff like this. These I'm going to start releasing over the next few months, but these are very handy, and you can learn more, obviously, on this YouTube channel. Next one, create yourself a guide for GP. Don't go into GP. Say, for example, I'm going to go in, right, I'm going to go into my qualifying round right now. I'm going to race, I'm going to go straight into Japan, and you're in the debrief screen and you're thinking, oh no, what strategy am I following? No, stop it. Go ahead, write your strategies down, write the boosts that you're going to go down and use, and have them handy so you can just look at them and go, right, that's what I'm doing beforehand. Cut the eliminations of mistakes out. Also on there is included the boosts, and if you want to follow mine, every Tuesday I announce qualifying strategies, and every Friday your weekend strategies. So if you don't want to do that, just come back and watch my videos and you will get some strategies. Learn the best strategies, you will go a long way. Of course, trying to earn stuff, trying to level up stuff is painful and it's slow. Of course, always have crates opening. As you can see down the bottom here, I've got a green crate opening. Always have them crates opening so you're constantly unlocking items and you're leveling up. Monday and Tuesday, sprints, and you can get some great rewards unless you are like me on my live stream every Tuesday and you put loads of effort in and you go and get Nico Hulkenberg. Absolutely a nightmare. That happens from time to time, but sometimes you can get some great rewards as well. Monday and Tuesday, make time in your diary. You can do some leveling up beforehand as well. Looking at them medals, and obviously I appreciate this is a long video, but man, you've got every tip coming your way right now. Look at my medals. Yes, I've spent on the game. Yes, I've done a lot of races, and I've been in the top sort of podiums, P1s, P2s, P3s, all season long. I am only a lower flag, and that is what is the meta of the game. I still have to score 376 points against 3 or 4 other players, so it is still tough, but earlier in the season, it is easier. How do you get easier groups? Simply doing this. Find a series you want to stop at. It might be a series that your friends are in or your club member is in that looks easier than your group. And all you simply do is drop the flags below. If you drop enough flags through the series, so you can see I've dropped a couple of hundred there, and I've dropped massive amount, 500 there. I am pretty much max series 10, and I've still got 500 flags to series 11. I will never go up, but I will always stay in series 10, racing the same series. With that, you will naturally get easier GP groups than series 12 and that mess, which in theory it gets. 376 could get you outside the top 20 in series 12. 376 in series 7 will probably give you P1. That is something that's been around for years. A lot of players don't know about that, and to simply drop flags, you forfeit every single race, you lower your flag count. And we're going to come into that quickly now, because there's another little tip, and this is a pointless tip. This is a tip that you might not even care about, okay? But some of you will. You might look at some people's accounts. They've raced loads, and you think, how have they got a 99% win ratio? How have they got a 98% win ratio? Are they that good? Answer is, they've probably got an amazing setup, and they are sitting in the lower flags like you've just seen. Look at my series flags. Series 10, I'm nearly max. Obviously, it makes it easier. But there's a little way as well. So watch this. So I have got 2,365 races completed. How does it work out your percentage? Well, it's races won divided by races completed. Or the other way around if you're smart and you know maths better than me. So we are on 2,365. I'm going to go into a duel. And I'm simply going to race. And I'm going to forfeit. And you will notice that that race will not count. What does that mean? That means that every race I'm about to lose, I can quit, and it doesn't affect my stats. Interesting. Now, it is pointless. No one really cares about your win ratio. It's irrelevant. But you might want to be bragging to your friends. You might want to be having the absolute, oh, I've got this win ratio, you haven't. You can start basically annoying them. So what you're going to do is just going to start a race. And you notice what race completed we were on a moment ago. And just a tip as well. You want to boost off the start. And you want to do this little pit trick, secret tip here. This still does work a little bit. All you do is put it on fast. And you want to pit straight away for any tyre. And you get a slight little kick off the line. It still does work at tracks like Japan. It works brilliant. Miami, it works. Zandvoort, it works great. The one thing you need to do is make sure you cancel the pit. And you can see, you can't see because the banner's up. I'll show you now. Obviously, I did pit. And if I take the bar off, you can see I've cancelled the pit. Make sure you cancel, because otherwise you're going to be coming in the pits. But it does actually work, and it does help you gain some position still off the start. So, after that has took place, and now my scrolling bar doesn't like me very much, what we're going to do is we're going to quit this race. Let's say I'm losing, and you've got to do this the lap before the last one. So what I'm going to do is just go up and close off the game. Okay? I'm now going to load up the next game again. So I'm just going to leave you my beautiful strategy guide after I'm past my account ID. So I'm going to load that up. Okay, so here we go. We're back on the account. And you will like this little stat. I am still on 2,365. It doesn't count as a race complete. Races won doesn't change. I didn't win. But your races completed doesn't change either. And it doesn't affect my win ratio. So if you want to start increasing your win ratio, basically forfeit every race before the last lap that you are about to lose, and make sure you quit, and you will not lose on the races completed. Your win percentage will go up. Simple tip, very basic. Use it if you want. Okay. The only thing to watch out for with that is at the end of the season towards May, because a new season will be launching in May, you get challenges. Now the challenges might not be the same, but them challenges can look something like this. And this is total race count. Obviously, if you are forfeiting every race and the race is not counting, you simply will find it harder to complete the races. It will still take your coins, it still does drop your flags, but obviously it impacts you as well. So just make sure, I don't want you to come back to me and say, your fault, I forfeited 400 races. Okay, so keep that in mind. So, on that note, make sure you're just queuing all your crates, you're watching the adverts, you're claiming all your rewards, you're doing everything you absolutely can to go ahead and earn as much as you can in the game. There is some great tips in here that you can really put into practice for your setup and for your car. Make sure that you are following all these tips. They are some big tips, because by the end of the season, you're going to be earning challenges and trying to complete challenges to earn the store. and that store consists of being able to buy parts early next season. So more challenges will do. Basically, the more levels you unlock, the more drivers you upgrade, the better you do in GP, you're going to score big. So yeah, you're going to help massively on that one. So there's some great tips in there. Really hope some of them are absolutely great for you. I am live every single Tuesday, so come along and visit me around 7 PM in the evening, and make sure you check out this video, check out all my others, hit the subscribe button. We're putting in all the time to be able to make you better at F1 Clash. So really appreciate all your support. Hope that has helped, and fingers crossed you can go and smash it going forward.